Echoes of a Bygone Era. Long ago, in a land covered with thick green forests and sparkling blue lakes, people told stories of ancient times. These stories were about heroes, magical creatures, and treasures hidden deep within the land. One such story was of the golden harp that could make anyone hear the sounds of the past. Anna was a little girl with big dreams. She loved hearing these tales and often wondered if the golden harp was real. Every night, her grandmother would tell her a new story, and Anna would listen with wide-eyed wonder. One sunny day, while playing near the forest's edge, Anna found a map. It was old, with its edges torn, but there was a clear path drawn leading to a mountain. At the top of the mountain, there was a drawing of a golden harp. Filled with excitement, Anna decided to go on an adventure to find the harp. She packed some food, took a small bottle of water, and started following the map. The journey was long. She crossed little streams, climbed steep hills, and even had to hide from a bear. But Anna was brave. She remembered the stories her grandmother told her and used her wit to overcome challenges. After what felt like days, Anna reached the mountain's peak. And there, surrounded by flowers and bathed in sunlight, was the golden harp. She carefully approached it and plucked a string. To her amazement, she began to hear whispers. They were soft voices, singing songs of old, telling tales of the bygone era. Anna was mesmerized. She realized that this harp was not just a treasure, it was a bridge to the past. It held memories, stories, and songs of people long gone. Anna spent hours listening to the harp, absorbing its knowledge. And when she felt it was time, she carefully placed the harp back where she found it, knowing that some things are meant to be left undiscovered for others to find. Returning home, Anna had a new story to tell. She spoke of her adventure, of the harp, and of the echoes of a bygone era she had heard. People listened in awe, and Anna's story became a legend in its own right, reminding everyone of the magic that the past holds and the adventures that await those willing to seek them. The Warden of the North Star. In a realm filled with shimmering stars and vast skies, there was one star that shone the brightest, the North Star. This star was not like the others. It held a secret, a guardian named Leo. Leo was not a regular being. He had a body made of the finest stardust and eyes that sparkled like the galaxies. He was the protector of the North Star and made sure that its light never dimmed. The North Star was essential to the people below. It helped travelers find their way when they were lost, and sailors used it to navigate the vast seas. Without its light, the world would be in darkness. One day, a dark shadow approached the North Star. It was Erebus, a creature that fed on light. He wanted to consume the North Star's brilliance and plunge the world into eternal night. Leo, seeing the approaching threat, prepared for battle. He wielded a sword forged from meteors and wore armor made of moonbeams. As Erebus neared, Leo took a deep breath and charged. The sky lit up with their battle. Every clash of their weapons sent showers of sparks, creating new stars. The noise of their confrontation was like thunder, echoing across the universe. Erebus, with his darkness, tried to engulf Leo. But Leo's determination and the power of the North Star were strong. With a mighty swing, Leo pushed Erebus away, saving the star from being consumed. However, the fight took its toll. Leo was tired, and the North Star had lost some of its shine. But instead of giving up, Leo started singing. His voice was melodious, and as he sang, the other stars joined in. The combined energy of their song healed the North Star, restoring its light. And as for Erebus, he realized the power of unity and the importance of the North Star. He promised never to threaten the star again and retreated into the far corners of the universe. From that day on, Leo continued his duty as the warden, but he was no longer alone. The other stars always remained close, ready to help if danger ever approached. And whenever travelers looked up to the North Star for guidance, they felt a sense of security, knowing there was a guardian watching over them, ensuring the light never faded away. The Silent Harbinger. In a time when the Earth was young, a curious phenomenon puzzled everyone. Every month, on the same day, a mysterious bird with feathers as dark as the night sky would perch on a giant oak tree. It was no ordinary bird, it had a wingspan as wide as a river and eyes that gleamed with wisdom. No one knew where this bird came from or why it visited, but old tales spoke of its name, the Silent Harbinger. The bird never sang, never chirped, but its mere presence was an indication of a change, a signal that something was about to happen. One day, a brave young girl named Elara decided to approach the bird. She had a heart full of questions and hoped that the creature might have some answers. With every step she took towards the oak tree, the bird watched her intently, not moving an inch. Reaching the base of the tree, Elara gathered her courage and spoke, "Great Harbinger, why do you come here every month? What message do you bring?" The bird, for the first time, opened its beak, but no sound came out. Instead, a shimmering feather fell from its wing and landed softly in Elara's hand. The moment she touched it, images flooded her mind, visions of rain, bountiful harvests, and dancing under the moonlight. Realization dawned upon Elara. The Silent Harbinger didn't bring verbal messages, it communicated through feelings and visions. It was a guide to help them prepare for the future, be it good or challenging. Elara, with the feather clasped tightly in her hand, returned to her people and shared her discovery. The villagers were in awe and began to revere the bird even more. Every month, they would gather around the oak tree, waiting for the Silent Harbinger's arrival. They didn't expect songs or stories, they waited for a single feather to drop, bringing with it visions of the future. With time, the village prospered. They were always a step ahead, preparing for droughts before they happened, celebrating festivals just when good fortune was about to come, and most importantly, uniting as a community under the guidance of the Silent Harbinger. And as for Elara, she became the village's seer, interpreting the visions brought by the feathers. The bond between the girl and the bird became legendary, a tale of trust, understanding, and the mysterious ways of the universe. the twilight hourglass. In a time when days were long and nights were filled with stars, a special hourglass existed. It wasn't filled with ordinary sand but with the shimmering dust of twilight. It was said that whoever held the hourglass could control the delicate balance between day and night. This hourglass rested in a tower that touched the clouds. The guardian of the hourglass was an elderly woman named Selene. Her hair flowed like silver waterfalls, and her eyes were the colors of dusk. She had one mission: to make sure the hourglass was never tipped, for if it were, the balance between day and night would be disturbed. Young Milo, a boy with boundless curiosity, had always been fascinated by the tales of the twilight hourglass. One day, he decided he wanted to see it for himself. With a knapsack full of provisions, he started his journey towards the sky-touching tower. As he ascended the tower's winding stairs, he could see the world below him, bathed in a golden hue. When he finally reached the top, he found Selene sitting beside the glowing hourglass, humming a soft tune. "Ah, Milo," she said without turning around, as if expecting him. "Have you come to see the heart of twilight?" Milo nodded. "I wanted to see if the stories were true." Selene motioned him to come closer. "This hourglass," she began, "holds the magic of time. Each grain is a moment of twilight, the time when day meets night. But it's not for playing." Milo, being adventurous, couldn't resist the urge. "What happens if it's tipped?" he asked with a mischievous glint in his eyes. Selene sighed. "The day might never end, or the night might stretch on forever. The balance is delicate." Milo's heart raced. The idea of an everlasting day filled with adventures or a never-ending night full of stars was tempting. As Selene turned to look out of the window, Milo quickly tipped the hourglass. Suddenly, the room filled with a radiant light. The world outside seemed to pause. The golden hue of the day and the deep blue of the night merged. Realizing his mistake, Milo quickly set the hourglass right, and the world resumed its natural rhythm. He looked at Selene, expecting anger. But she only smiled. Curiosity is a gift, but with it comes responsibility. Milo nodded, understanding the weight of his actions. "I promise never to disturb the balance again," he said. And so, with a lesson learned and a tale to tell, Milo descended the tower, leaving behind the magical world of the twilight hourglass and its wise guardian.